except that you following me. You can tell us our names. Tell us your name.
I'm Mike Hatcher.
Hey folks, it's Ernie Pack.
I am Natalie Jones.
What's up everybody, my name's Matt Warner.
Hey, I'm G-Man. You know what, I'm George Joplin, I'm anybody you want me to be, but you know what, there's one thing I am. I'm part of the para movement. That's right, feel it. Oh, feel it.
My name is Melody Knapp and I am part of the para movement.
It's April, the Psychic Housewife from New Jersey, and I am part of the para movement.
Hashtag the para movement.
And I am part of the para movement.
And I'm part of the para movement.
I'm Sophia Tambrelli, and I'm part of the para movement.
Just wanted to talk real quick about the para movement that's going on in the world. It's all about para unity. It's about para family. It's about diversity like you'll see nowhere else. In the paranormal community, we got folks of all races, religions, sexual orientations, political beliefs, you name it. And we're spreading positivity, good vibes everywhere. So, hashtag the para movement. Join it, be a part of it, and everybody have a great day. Take care.
Why did you let him kill me? It was the clown.
Listening to Animal Paranormal Live, where we talk about all things paranormal. And now, here's your host, the Animal.
Are you ready?
Hey, what's up? You're on Animal Paranormal Live. Welcome to the Animal Studio, and I am your host, of course, the Animal. Thank you so much for following and tuning in. Before I bring on Emily Menthouse on, I just want to share a little bit my documentary, Through Hell and Back. I just want to say is very amazing. And I'm not just saying that and trying to boast about it, but these stories that I'm getting from people are heartbreaking, and suicide is something that is happening in a daily basis. People going through it, people are being depressed because of the whole COVID thing, what's going on. But I just wanted to share something to you because it's dear close to my heart. I've known people who committed suicide. So please, watch this little 60-second video. If you are going through hard times or ever thought about suicidal, please watch this video and please call this number after the video because it will change your life.
I am suicide. I take precious lives. I could be after someone you love. I could be after you. I work by turning your own thoughts against you. But I'm a liar and a cheat. I make you feel guilty or useless when you're not. I tell you, things can never get better. They can. I tell you, there's no point in taking a breath, asking for help. But there is. I tell you, you're alone, and you're not. You can stop me, but you have to know how.
If you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, reach out for help. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. We're waiting for your call.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for watching that little 60-second video. Like I said, it's dear to close to my heart. If you need help, please call the suicide hotline. I will leave the number later on down in the comments. But other than that, I want to thank you for Emily Menhouse. She's an amazing person, amazing investigator, amazing podcast show. Here we go. Emily.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you. What an intro. All your videos and everything you put together and stuff. That's awesome. Loved it. Got me super excited. The music and everything behind all those that you put together. And I'm really excited about your documentary coming out. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing that has been really on my heart, close to dear, because there's so many people right now with, I'm sure you know, you have people that, I mean, we were just talking about, you said you had a close one, someone that you knew that was in that situation, and there's people now that I'm talking to on a daily basis, just like that story on the trailer I'll be sharing pretty soon in the next couple of weeks of his story, where he experienced someone committed suicide right in front of him. So
wow.
It's a very hard topic to talk about, but I'm hoping
it's a topic that needs to be talked about, though, because my uncle, he was 82. Elderly suicide is never talked about, really. And he was married to my aunt for 62 years. And we tried to get him out of the house. 2 weeks after her passing, he shot himself. And suicide, I'm going to get emotional. Suicide death is something totally different than a regular death. Not to say that there's emotions are the same, but you sit and you start thinking, I talked to him the other day. I should have done this. I should have done that. And it holds with the family for a very long time. What if I did this? And what if I didn't do that? So I'm telling you, I didn't have support either when my uncle committed suicide, and it was absolutely horrific. My face went numb. My hands went numb when I found out. I even dropped my phone because it was just totally unexpected. And the heartbreak is real, and the aftermath of it is detrimental. And for the person that you're doing that documentary on that actually physically witnessed this, I can't imagine the hurt and the pain and the suffering emotionally, mentally, and physically, because that if you're down mentally and emotionally, you're going to be down physically too. Can't imagine what's going on. So thank you, Josh, for putting something like this together and putting it in the forefront here, because yes, it's been a hell of a year. 2020 and 2021 may be even more, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, just as a paranormal investigator, I'm sure like yourself, like we've been inside like hermits. So like everybody has a podcast show now, and everybody's trying to reach out to each other and just, because we're family. Paranormal, we're supposed to be a family, and we're supposed to reach out to each other, and that's what I feel like I'm hoping to do in the paranormal. I know like people ask me, why are you doing something different than paranormal? It's because it's needed.
Yeah.
I've talked to investigators on a daily basis who struggle the same thing every day.
When you're going through this hard time and everything's shut down, like I know I've gone through a relationship issue. I've gone through stuff with family dying. I've had 7 family members pass away since February of last year. Had to put 2 dogs down over the summer. So a lot's coming at you, and then you're confined to your home and you're not out, because I think if I was out and about and my friends and everything, the bounce back would have come back even further. But then you start posting stuff out on social media because that's your outlet at this point in life, because that's where we are. We're stuck at home, and it's a spiritual war going on. There's a spiritual uprising, and to think that these paranormal, these ghosts are sitting still. No, I think us being home, confined to the locations that we're at, we're witnessing more of the spiritual realm than what we would normally have witnessed in our regular daily routine life. So, sorry, I went on a little spill.
No,
there. Okay.
And we need that. We need that message out for people because it's all about love and taking care of each other. Because if it's not, then what's the point of being here?
That's right, and supporting each other when you go through something, and if you know somebody that's been abused, even and things, and you know that this person's been abused, you don't support the abuser. I'm sorry, it's come to that. I do not support any abuse. If a friend of mine is abused and I know this person's real, I know this person's truthful, and the abuser I do not support. So it's a hard time in America, in the world. So
and by the way, thank you for all our listeners right now, and Robert from Canada, that's awesome.
Hey, Robert Murray.
Hey, Janice. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Ann. Hey, Cheryl. Hey,
Christina. Annie. Melissa Grubbs. I haven't talked to her in a while. Melissa, I love you. I miss you. Call me.
My capture. This is awesome. Wow, so many people listening.
Janice.
It's funny because everybody's telling their story.
They need to.
Yeah, and it's really awesome about this because it's not just about the paranormal. It's about having each other's back, and the paranormal's fun. People have been doing this for years, searching for the paranormal. It gets over and over and over. But the thing is, the funnest part of doing a paranormal investigation is the people you hang out with.
Yes.
That's what makes an investigation great.
Well, speaking of that, my catcher just made a comment too, and there was a video that he put. Who was that? I laughed my butt off on that video. I believe it was my catcher, where they went in and the guy fell asleep and they scared him. Was that my catcher, Mac? Was that you? Mike, I say Mike because I'm in Kentucky. But I've tried committing suicide a few times. It's something I've slowly, and that's brave for him to say that too, by the way. But I believe it was my catcher that made this video of this guy. It was somebody's birthday. I don't know. They even put it in slow-mo at an investigation. It was the funniest thing. I watched that over and over. It says yes. I can't remember who it was. Mike, post it tonight again since I'm talking about it. Everybody go over, follow my catcher and watch this video. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But other than that, I know we've been talking about things about suicide, but I want to get into more of you. Like, how did you start out in the paranormal?
Well, I wish I had something a little bit more creative than other people. I grew up in a haunted house, a haunted home, and actually I talk about that home. I hardly ever talk about that house I grew up in, but I did talk about it on a podcast that's coming out next Sunday, Sparks of the Paranormal. So I did grow up in a haunted home. I grew up in church, got out of church a little bit in my middle school years, got back into church, rededicated my life to Jesus my junior year in high school. And we had whatever was at that house where we moved. My parents built a home in middle school too. It followed us. We got prayed over at the house. Our pastor came down, and but the church I go to is spirit-led church, very spiritual. We believe in demonic possessions, oppressions, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. So the spiritual world is real, and I have seen things spiritually speaking on levels, but I did not know that this was called remote viewing. But I've always told people, send me pictures of their house or something. Don't tell me the story. So I've done that over the years. But I've been very supportive from the Christian point of view on my side. And I've always been interested in it because I have my own story behind it. And I've seen things myself.
Yeah. Now, being in a religious view, because I went to Christian college all the way up in Australia at Hillsong College.
Australia? Hillsong?
Yeah.
You went to Hillsong?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Hillsong. You want to sing some songs right now? We can do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I went to college there for a year. Me and my ex-wife, we went there, which I won't talk about, but that's another story. But amazing experience. But it just, I think it's kind of funny when we talk about religion because I think like when I added religion when I was younger, when I started seeing the paranormal more progressively as an age of 13, I felt like stuff like dark entities and just dark figures like kept attacking, at that point, and I could start seeing things more and it kept appearing to me more. So it's just amazing. I don't know about you, but I feel like as a religious standpoint, like when you put God in the picture, I feel like more of...
Oh, you see more of a battle.
Yeah.
And to be honest, though, if we could truly see the spiritual world like the Bible talks about, because the Bible talks more about the spiritual world than it does the earthly world, I don't think our minds could comprehend it. I think it would be so scary. Not like terrified because it fear and things, but it's just so huge and so rampant that we could not comprehend it and we could not bring it in and analyze it the way that God would want us to do it. So I think that we see glimpses of things, that God gives us the gift of discernment. And unfortunately, my discernment in people is way worse than my discernment in spiritual things. So don't trust people is what I've come to know. No, I'm just kidding. Trust your friends, trust your family. But, this is deep. This is deep rooted. And this is a spiritual battle that we face. And we need to take some places like your documentary that you're putting out and things that people face on a daily basis. We need to take it seriously because it's not necessarily possession. Because I know all these shows have come out with, oh, it's a demon. But a lot of oppression. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So, if a family's contacting you, especially a child, if the child's involved, that there's definitely oppression there, and it's something to take seriously.
Oh yeah.
You can have fun. I believe you should have fun too, but your evidence and things, and we talked about some stuff before the show about what tools we use and things. You need to, really follow up after your investigation.
Well, especially at that, like, I know, like, as a churchgoer, I don't really go to church much as I used to because of just how craziness, life is right now, and you can't barely go to a church right now because of the whole COVID thing. But, like, I remember going to church because I used to go, when I came back from Australia, I used to go, like, weekly, like, 7 days a week, literally.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. I would see spirits, like, attached to people on a daily basis, and it was like a different spirit with each person of negativity, depression, battling some kind of sickness, all kind of, etc., all kind of different kind of spiritual beings that were attached to these people. And it kind of made me think, maybe could we reach those people where they could get help to kind of take those evil, or not evil, I shouldn't say evil, but entities away from people,
Well, I'll tell you a story right now that I've never told anybody. This was when I was 19 years old. This was in church. I grew up in a musically talented family that sang gospel music. Okay. This was dealt with my high school sweetheart, if you want to call that. We dated for 6 years. We went to Bible college together. So I have a bachelor's and a master's in Christian education. It was from accredited college and a minor in theology at this time in my early 20s. So I'm in church, and right in the middle of the church, we had broken up, okay, my high school sweetheart and he goes to the same church I go to. And right in the middle of the church, you all, I have never talked about this on any, so animal, we're talking about an animal right now, okay? So right in the middle, everything just went dark. Am I here? I hear stuff now.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
It went dark. The screen went dark, and then I didn't hear any. I hear you now. Yeah. And then I hear echo now.
It's good.
Okay.
That's weird. As soon as you said something, it just went.
Yeah, I went blank on my screen, and then I didn't hear any sound. I hear myself now, but it's echo. Do you hear an echo?
No.
Okay, well, I'll just ignore it. So here in the middle of the church service, I'm telling you right now that it looked like a cartoon character. It was a monkey, and it had his hands up to the sky, and it was going back and forth, going yakety, 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 yak. Yakety, 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 yak. I'm like 20 maybe. So the ex-boyfriend was standing next to this guy that was highly anointed of God. Actually, he could have had his own church. Very spiritually fed individual that knows his Bible scripture and things. But he was going through some problems at this time. This monkey, it looks like a cartoon character. I'm not joking. And I'm like, what the world? Like, this is, I thought people thought I was going to be crazy. I prayed against discernment in my 20s because I saw a lot of things, and a lot of demonic things are a combination between a humanoid, or it's a hybrid, really, a human and an animal. And so this monkey's coming up this aisle going yakety, 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 yak, jumps up on this guy's back that's standing next to my ex-boyfriend, my high school sweetheart, puts his arms and like circled his arms. And then it was like a dream or a vision. I didn't see this physically. It was like a dream or a vision during praise and worship. And the head gets up really big. Well, there was issues. I came back home for a few days. That bothered me. I wouldn't tell my parents about it because I thought they were going to think I was even crazy. I was a freshman in Bible college, so I was 19. And so, I prayed about it and everything. And then I had it was pagers where you page back in the day. So yeah, I love you. Those. Remember putting in I love you for you to respond back. So it was a pager. And so I paged him. He didn't call me. We're broke up. So I did page him. I paged him. I loved him. Then I called him. I called his phone answering service. So I left a message. Didn't hear back from him. That was Sunday. I didn't hear back from him until the following Monday, almost a week. And the message I left to him is what came to me after I prayed was that monkey cut off the air supply to this guy, and his head got big, like he couldn't breathe. He was losing his mind. And it happened. He lost his mind. And I'm not going to tell the story, but it dealt with some suicide issues. Okay. So fast forward. Okay. 6 years later, I'm at a boyfriend's house that I'm dating, and came across, I didn't ever heard of Rhema Bible College. Have you heard of Rhema Bible College? Yeah. Okay. Pastor Hagen. One of the colleges I wanted to go to. Pastor Hagen. That's right. Isn't it? Pastor Hagen. Yeah. He died at 80. He said he was going to pass away at 80. Or 83 or something like that. So I was out there, and the guy I was dating, we were at his mother's house, and she was like, have you ever heard of Pastor Hagen? I said, oh, I've heard a little bit about him. She goes, you need to read this book. So she gives it to me, and I'm flipping through. I'm just looking at flipping through, and I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. And it opened up to like chapter 6 or something. It says the monkey spirit or something like that. And in that book, and this was confirmation that he was doing a service, and he saw a monkey come down the aisle of during praise and worship, going with the hands in the air, saying yakety, 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 yak. And so, sorry, that happened. I saw that spirit when I was 19, and then when I'm 26 or 27, it was confirmed in a book. So I've seen things for a very long time, and I prayed against it because I stopped seeing things. See, from 19 to 20 years old, a year to year and a half, I saw things, and I started praying against it because I thought people were going to think I was crazy. Now, in the last 5 years or so, I've asked God to give me that back, but give it to me in doses. I can't handle it too much. So, this stuff's real. Yeah. I've never said that story. I've never told that story to anybody. So I love everybody that still supports me and don't think I'm crazy.
Well, I'm honored. You're awesome, Emily.
So thank you.
Now, we were talking earlier about, I know we'll go into other things, but we were talking about gadgets and toys and EMF detectors, and it was pretty interesting of what you were saying. If you could, like, re-immense the story, what you were telling me about EMF detectors and how cell phones and everything and other gadgets interrupt, because I think that's a very interesting conversation in the paranormal field, especially when some people think, oh, it's some kind of electronic energy, but it's actually your device. I've seen I know you. Before you answer, I've seen so many paranormal investigators. No offense to investigators, because I love you all, but like, there's so many people that have so many gadgets around the EMF detector. It's gonna set it off. I'm just gonna say
it is.
You can
It
go,
is
I have a
battery.
rant.
Listen. I know some groups that have like 15 devices on a bed. Okay, first and foremost, the ghosts that you're investigating, are they going to know these devices? No. If you have an EMF there, reader there, and it reads off battery, it does. It reads off batteries. It reads off your phone. Especially, I've done a test with my iPhone 10. I didn't do one with Samsung. Actually, I'm getting my new Samsung phone next week. I'm switching from iPhone to Samsung, Android. So I get my new phone next week. But I did the test up to 20 feet, just with the phone on, full blast, could make that EMF reader go off. With it on airplane mode, it goes about 7 to 8 feet with airplane mode. It will still make your EMF reader. So when you see these videos of people videotaping EMFs, readers going off, I'm like, dude, that's probably your phone. It's not a ghost. It's not. And I saw a pretty prominent team have about 6 to 8 EMF readers lined out, and it was on a table or it was like a banner or a banister. It was on a banister they were laying, and each one was about 4 to 6 inches apart, and it was about 3 to 4 feet, I guess, maybe, or maybe even more than that. But the guy would walk past these EMF readers, and other people were videotaping. I don't know if it was from a phone or a camera, but they were videotaping, and you watch this guy walk past these EMF meters, and they're like, a ghost is following you, a ghost is following you. But you got to look in his back pocket. Guess what was in his back pocket? His phone. His phone. So I have done paranormal investigations. I've sold out events here locally and in my town. So, when we have an event, I want everybody to have fun. We want to record. We want to do stuff. So I usually say, hey, the first half of this investigation, record, have fun, do whatever you want to do. We're going to take a break. The specific place I was at was that it was also a bed and breakfast. So they were spending the night there. They had their rooms. So after break, I'd say, leave your phones in your rooms, turn them off, completely off, and leave them up there still. And then about an hour to 2 hours later in the evening, we would have an investigation. But then after that, I'd let them get their phones and do whatever. But I'm telling you, if you're a serious, I hate to say this because I respect everybody and I love watching these videos just as much as anybody else. If you have your camera out videotaping, don't have an EMF meter right there in front of your face saying the ghost is a ghost, because it's not. It's your phone. I've just done too much of it, and I love everybody. By the way, I love everybody. Nobody get mad at me for saying that. I've done it. I've investigated. I've researched. Don't get mad. I love everybody. And just don't have your EMF meter out. Videotape your ghost box, okay?
What I usually do is I also just shut my phone off, electronics next to me, because like you said, it could come off. Because I used to thought it was like a ghost all the time. Back then when I first started, I was like, oh, it's got to be a ghost. And my buddy that I've been investigating for 20 years, he's like, dude, it's not a ghost. I'm like, yes, it is. And then I had to prove myself, and like, damn it, he's right the whole time. So it's now I became like a firm believer of just having, all the cool stuff and all the gear. It's amazing. I love gadgets.
I like it too.
I'm a big tech person. I love, filming and stuff like that. It's my passion. But when I go on to a paranormal investigation, yes, I bring the equipment with me, but do I use it? No. The reason is because when you're with a big group of...
Uh-oh, it went black again.
But if you're with a big group of people, which happens a lot, especially... Uh-oh.
It went black again. I'm sorry. And then I hear you now.
Okay. Do you hear me?
On my end, I don't know if it went... Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, it's like when you go to a place where you have like 20 or more, or Brushy Mountain, for instance, you're gonna get contamination no matter what. That's why it's always good to go to an investigation without so many gadgets. And EVP, it's very easy to to check out to see if it's actually a human voice or if it's actually some kind of electrical phenomena or something.
Technology is changing, and so do our devices. My catcher said that actually there's an ultrasound. I do EVP stuff. There's an ultrasonic device that's coming out. I think it came in my email yesterday or the day before Ghost Tech. Hold on, I need to look this up because I like EVPs too. It's Ghost Tech. It's ultrasonic, which I've thought that needs to happen a long time ago because I've worked in MRI department and X-ray department in a hospital for a while. Let me just make sure that I'm saying this right. It's Ghost Tech. It came in my email. Ghost. If I can't find it right now, I don't know. I'm just going to see if it comes up really quickly here on my social media. If it doesn't, then I'll post a link in it. But it was quite interesting what they sent me, and I read about it. If anybody else knows anything about it, please make a statement here. But it's not popping up really quick here. I didn't follow them on any of their social media pages yet, but it came in my email because I like EVP work. And I always use, and I'll probably get on investigators' nerves at times because I've used these for a very long time. This one is an amplified earbud system that I can regulate. It's not amplified right now to hear anything, but I use amplified headphones or earbuds because even someone's stomach, which I was watching the new reality, which they're going to be on my show in March, and they use ITC. We talked about ITC. Yeah. I listen through amplified earbuds because, and I mark things. Like I always say, you say that because a demon can sound like your stomach growling. Like, and when they were doing when they were doing their premiere and everything, everybody was like, I heard a growl. I have my amplified earbuds in and I'm listening to it. And I'm like, dude, whose stomach's growling? And they're like, oh, it's him. They were making it because it sounds like, and you have to know, I have been in investigations too. And I had to go behind. I hate to do this. I don't ever really do this unless it's a really deep issue. This was a spiritual thing. Somebody was using the DR60. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like them. That they're way too much money. Don't buy one. That's my opinion. Don't buy one. But I have been around it enough. And the person that used this in Florida was saying it was a demonic issue with something. I record at all times. I have at least one recorder going on at all times. And then that's on me. Then I will set up recorders in different rooms as the night goes, and I will mark it. So when I go back through, and you can hear it, actually I heard it then, but I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time. But it was a dog barking, and it was across the street. But the person that just uses the DRR60 that goes in and just hotspots and like ask some questions, turn it off, ask some questions. I don't know how people feel about that. How do you feel about that, Josh, about going in and just asking a question, turn it off, ask a question, turn it off? You don't record the whole thing. How do you remember everything?
Yeah, I think honestly that's a good point because when you record a long mount, like I've been on investigations where I've recorded like 30 minutes and then you have to go back and listen to every 30 minutes of that track. That's actually a really good idea because if you record something, ask a question. I've seen Zach Baggins do that where he'll ask a question on show and like, is there anybody here? And then you pause for a minute and then replay it. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a really good idea to do that because then you'll know if something's actually there or not, or it could be something that's, like you said, a dog barking or...
It was a dog barking, but this person was telling these individuals that it was a demon. Yeah. And I could not let that happen to that degree. It was a dog barking. So it was the exact same thread because I have an audio recorder on at all times. And it was the exact same thread. And you can hear me whisper because I wasn't allowed to talk loud during that when they asked questions. I said, that's a dog. Yeah. And then you can clearly hear it on mine. But I've done this for so long, I can upload my audio and I can actually just zoom in to so many degrees and look. And I'm like, that's an EVP. And I'll go in and look at it. And see there's different hertz levels and things that these spirits speak on. And I like it. Like I just posted one. I did an investigation in November and my battery for my camera, I'm not a big, huge camera person. I'm not a camera individual, but my camera went from like a 75% down to 25% in like 10 minutes, if that, okay. Sucked it. And it says, EVP says charge it right there. And it was like, yeah. So they knew, like that ghost knew it sucked my battery, and I needed to charge it, and it was telling me to charge it. And I love EVPs. That's, I think, is the ultimate evidence to prove that the spiritual world exists, and there's intelligent, there's residual, there's all kinds of different levels. But when you get that EVP that comes in that's talking to you, you may not hear it. I didn't hear it at that time, actually. I did not hear that EVP, but it's amazing to me. And that by far, I very rarely do you catch anything on video. I think I've caught 3 things on video in 20 some years. So EVP is where it's at, and you got to be careful with what you're using when it comes to audio devices. So
yeah, well, especially because I'm an underwater paranormal diver, and we're experiencing.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I got excited about that. The Bermuda Triangle. I got some stuff to tell you.
I'm going there.
My old pastor that pastored our church, Pastor Gardner, went to the Bermuda Triangle. These tapes are locked and sealed. I'll tell you that. And I heard 2 tapes one time my whole entire life, and you can hear people screaming and moaning and chains. And they talk about this in the Bible, about an underground water area. It's the Bermuda Triangle. Oh, when are you going?
Yeah. Say that again?
When are you going?
I'm supposed to be going hopefully in the next few weeks.
Oh my goodness!
But what I was
I'm nervous. You're making me sweat over here, and I'm not even going.
Well,
there's captivity, spiritual captivity down there, and I heard from good sources that there's a city there. Like if you deep dive down, I don't know how far down you go, but you start seeing relics and things back underneath there.
Well, the cool thing is, like, me and my buddy, we're underwater paranormal divers and rescue divers, and we are actually in the process of doing some tests on some air capsules underwater, doing EVP sessions underwater in shipwrecks. So, and which is cool. Really
Titanic?
Cool. Huh?
Titanic?
Oh, that's too deep. You need a submarine for that.
Go deep and put, like, we're gonna have devices there. You get a waterproof capsule. You stick a EVP device or a recording device out there. You ask no questions, where it can hear you out there and see what happens. The waves that come back. That would be freaking awesome.
People said they could barely hear me.
I hear you.
Can anybody hear me? Let me see something real quick. My mic's being a little weird.
Go deep or go home.
Go deep and go home.
That should be your new logo. You need a shirt that says, "Oh, you went out. I can't hear you."
You can't hear me?
I hear you now.
All right, let's try that. See how that goes.
That animal, you need to have that "Go deep or go home" shirt. Put that out on Teespring.
No, I'm gonna put that on my animal paranormal shirts. Go deep or go home.
Yeah, go deep or go home.
Mike said that's what she said. Oh, by the way, Mike Catcher, I don't know if farts will work on EVP. So,
what are they called? Those toilet demons? What's that toilet from Ghostbusters? What was that toilet? There was a toilet from Ghostbusters. Y'all remember that?
Oh man, that's years. I can't remember.
Hold on, I gotta look that up. It's like, hold on, it's like a rhyming word or something. Let me look that up. Hold on, toilet from Ghostbusters. If anybody ever wanted to look up my Google search, like I would definitely go to jail. The Phantom Flush toilets.
The Phantom Flush toilet.
It's the fearsome. It's the fearsome flush. But 1984, real Ghostbusters original toys, fearsome flush. Yeah, that's some toilet demons there.
Robert's like you're aging us.
What? I was born in 1981, so.
Oh, 84 here. So.
Oh, see, I'm older than you. Now you're aging me.
Not by much.
No. Linda Judd. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Linda Judd. I was going to answer the same thing.
Well, Linda Judd is one of my regular viewers on my show. Love her very much. She's an author and she's super talented and gifted. She's a great person. So, Linda, thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Well, if she wants to know what my real name is, you gotta answer this pop question. No, I'm just kidding. No, my real name is Joshua, if anybody wants to know. But the reason why I call myself the animal, make a long story short, I think I've told this a couple of times. I used to be in a biker club a long time ago, and I was sitting at a bar. You know, it's not a joke. It was actually real that happened. I know people probably think, oh, it's a bar joke, but it's actually a real true story. One of my biker buddies come up to me and he's like, dude, you don't have a biker name. And I'm like, no, why? He's like, dude, you look like the animal from the Muppets. The drummer.
You look like him.
So I was like, what? So like after that, it just, my nickname's been the animal.
Well, let me tell you this. Speaking of Muppets, I've dated two guys that they thought they looked like Muppets. Like, I got made fun of for dating these guys. One of them was called Benson Burner. That was with Beaker. The other one was called Gonzo. Okay, so I don't think you look like the animal. Unless you had some dreads, maybe. Did you have dreads back then or anything?
No. Just a long beard. Just a long
beard? Okay.
That's funny. The Haunted Bar Joke. Great title for a book.
Did you hear that?
No.
I just heard a kid's voice that says, I'm tired.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
Okay. If anybody heard that or heard a little kid's voice say, it's not me.
Well, there's actually a little girl apparition in my house.
Okay. I can't tell if it was a boy or a girl, but I heard, I'm tired. It sounded like a kid.
Yeah, she shows up a lot.
Okay. Well, she can talk all she wants to. She can say something else. I heard it. It said, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Matt, my catcher said, girl.
But
question mark. I don't know. It was sounding like a kid. My son's 11 years old, so it was kind of like sounding like my son. And I looked over because I'm like, he's with his dad, but I looked over, like, it sounded like a kid.
Yeah. Now going back to electronics. But what was it? Robert was talking about Ouija boards. Have you ever used a Ouija board on a investigation?
No, I had my own negative experience with the Ouija board. My dad had an experience with the Ouija board back in the 70s, but it wasn't negative. I did have a negative experience with the Ouija board when I was in 5th grade. And, you know, we talk about that, you know, Walmart sells this in the game section now. It's not a game. And I think that it attracts young kids like my age because we're vulnerable at that time. And now if you're older and you know what this is about and you use it, it's just like any other kind of device, I think, that you can use in an investigation, and you know what it's about. And I trust the user. I go for Robert, Murphy out in Colorado, the Ouija board guy, like, has all kinds of Ouija boards. Amazing individual. Love him to pieces. Met him a couple times over the years in paranormal events, but I trust him fully. But there's very few people I trust with the Ouija board because I don't think a lot of them go into it. And when you post Ouija board pics, I hate to say this, it's not me judging, but when you post Ouija board pics all the time on social media, how serious are you taking it, really? Because I think that's one of those devices that you pull out when you pull. Gosh, this is kind of be a little dirty. When you pull out on, to me, I would only use it if it's like a really serious investigation for me. This is not something I would pull out all the time to every place I go to, because there is spiritual attachments to it, whether or not that you want to say, hey, I bought this, I pulled it out from the box, or this is something I bought off eBay. Oh, who do you know? Who do you know this eBay person?
No.
all these these Ouija board giveaways and all that stuff, man. I don't go for that. And I love the people because I have friends that do it. I'm like, why are you doing this? Come on. Where does this board come from? You have to know your history. You got to know what is in that because there is attachment there. There is. It's just granted. Yeah. It's part of it. But that's how I feel about Ouija board. I won't use it personally. Actually, Robert Murphy was using Ouija boards at the Stanley Hotel. I've got to investigate the Stanley Hotel 4 times. And one time was at a paranormal event, and he was doing Ouija board stuff down there in the basement. Have you ever been to the Stanley?
No, that's one place I have not gone.
Well, anybody wants to go to Stanley, let's do it. I'll go again. Four times I've been there. Down in the basement, there's this passageway. And then there's this, underneath it is like this rock base, okay? And it's like a little tunnel. It's where servants used to go to. And actually it caved in and killed a couple people a long time ago. So I'm not Ouija board person, but I can't believe I did this because I live on the edge a little bit. I do. So everybody was so involved with these Ouija boards. I'm not joking. I snuck into that little cave right in the middle of the basement and went up back about, I'd say 50 yards, half a football field. And I did an EVP session back there. I heard kids laughing. This is like at 2:00 in the morning, kids laughing, kids running, all this stuff. Get it, come back out. I come crawling out. I'm looking, nobody's still paying attention. Like, I swear I did this. I swear I did this. And that's my Bluetooth speaker dying. You heard the little girl's voice?
Yeah, I just heard it.
Yeah, that's my Bluetooth. I'll turn that off. That was my Bluetooth. So anyway, I come back out and everybody's still involved with these boards. Nobody even knew I was gone for like 15 minutes back in that little cave. And I was so excited about it. So I started listening to it that night while I was staying at the Stanley. And I got EVPs. I heard the kids, the girls says yes. And it was echo. It sounded like an echo in a cave. It was so crazy. So then I come back home to upload this because I'm going to put this out there. This is in 2015. All files were gone.
Wow.
All of them. Yeah. So, I'd love to get back down there.
Well, it's funny that you talk about Ouija boards because when I went to the Hinsdale house working on a project, I went to, Mike Catcher helped me a little bit, Wildwood Sanitarium, which is right down the street, not too far from it. And no word of a joke, this is weird. I saw, there was investigators that were there before us, and they had boards and stuff set up, but they left. They, drove away. So it was just me and my buddy. We were in there with, the owner, and she was somewhere else. And I was going out there, it was like daytime. I saw the Ouija board just sitting right there. And I'm walking around, and I see the doll room, which I don't like dolls. Dolls is not my thing.
Don't like them either.
Living the crap out of me. Clowns and dolls. Don't put me in a room because I'll just lose it. But anyways, I went back around, just taking pictures, and, because this place is freaking awesome. I go back, there's another freaking Ouija board set perfectly right below it that came out of nowhere.
Did you use it?
No. I was like my hair freaking stick up, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? Because there was only one Ouija board, and I had to take a picture of it because it was something like that astonishes me, because when you see something that's like there and another thing appears out of nowhere, like, how the hell did that happen? So I
say that all the time. There should be another T-shirt there. How the hell did that happen? It's the animal.
Animals puns on the shirt.
How the hell did that happen? I have said that a lot in this field. How the heck? What the frick? That's my show. What the frick? Because I don't say the F word. So what the frick live? Like, what the frick? Like that, embodies a lot of stuff. So it's not just paranormal that I do. I do a little bit of conspiracy, not so much. Getting more involved with conspiracy stuff now. Aliens, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. I love Bigfoot.
Getting more into some prophecy. I have some really great people that I go to within the church. So I'm going to start bringing some prophecy on my show this year in 2021. with things. So what the frick? And we always say that. What the? Well, I always say, what the frick was that? What the frick just happened? So that's why I named the show. And it's been going on for almost 3 years now. So on Friday nights.
Well, it's kind of funny that you talk about what the frick. I had the kind of a what the frick moment at Brushy Mountain Penitentiary not too long ago, about a month ago now. And
love a good penitentiary, man.
It's
a woman in there.
This place blew my mind. I saw something I have not seen ever. Paranormal investigation. And it was like one of the frick moments, like, what the hell just happened? Like, how does an entity, or whatever it is, or can lift a person, or push a person down, and it's like, I don't get it. It's not good for something like that to happen, but how does that happen? How does something like that happen? Like, I saw something at the Haunted Hill House on a video where a woman got dragged off the bed.
Oh, I saw that too.
And
that's real. That was real.
Yeah.
I zoomed in. I was trying to make excuses for that.
Yeah.
That was real. That was real.
How the hell does something like that spiritually happen? That's what I'm trying to make of it, because it's like I've tried to do experiments where
that's a documentary.
Yeah.
To be honest, I say we, but if you think about anybody out here watching this in the paranormal field, you need to contact these people that we see these videos that are legit. Why was this person pushed? Why was this person dragged? Why was this person slapped? Why? Because I think if we really dive deep into these things and talk to these people probably have had some kind of heavy duty spiritual oppression or possession in their life, and they're vulnerable. And I bet you they can all relate to each other somehow or another. That would be a really great experiment to do.
Yeah. That would be pretty interesting, because
hold on, I saw a big thing here said, Emily, I need to rack your brain about many things. Oh, that kind of makes me scared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ernie. Yeah, you're totally right, Ernie. It's by the way, congratulations to the Packs. They just got married, by the way.
Oh,
so congratulations, Ernie and Denise, which are good friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I love them to death. But yeah, Ernie, you're right. What happened there was incredibly violent and strong, and it's something in the paranormal that you don't see on a daily basis.
Well, can we think about this? Because there's certain people that get touched and scratched and pushed, okay? Mm-hmm. So they go to this investigation. Obviously, I think that they've already had some kind of an oppression or possession or some kind of spiritual. I can't say what it is because I haven't interviewed them. So are they dealing with a familiar spirit is what I want to know. What if they go to these places and they have something at home that they've experienced, and they go here and maybe this thing that's there is kind of what's at home, and it's a familiar spirit, and they know because they know each other. Like, oh, I see you. You see me? Mm-hmm. I see you. So this is something that we need to look in and start going further in the paranormal world and really interviewing these individuals that have, because I was on a TV show, The Paranormal Journeys, but it wasn't mainstream. It was Roku. We were one of the top 10 downloads on Roku. It was seasons 3 through 5. We were on 22 channels in 9 states. There was one guy that got actually he's not somebody that fakes anything by any means. He's probably the one guy in the whole group that tries to debunk everything, but his head was hit really hard up against the wall, and he was slapped, and there was a mark there. So, why did that happen? Why was this person? Has this happened before? Have you had this experience? Like, we really need to start probably reaching out to these people that have had these experiences of being pulled and hit and slapped and scratched, and see if there's any connections between them. Connect the dots. That would be a great documentary. Yeah, I'm not a camera person, or I would do it. But if you all need me in there, holler at me. I will ask some questions.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, so many amazing questions. So many men. I mean, we could be on here for hours. Like,
yes,
there's some things I want to talk to you about, Bigfoot and aliens and stuff like that. And because I had my first Ernie could tell you, I had my first Bigfoot experience with Ernie and Denise not too long ago.
What
and
state?
I can't remember what state it is. Ernie and Denise remember because I drove with them. I think it's in Indiana, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee. Hot. Dave Spinks is one of my best friends. If y'all know Dave Spinks, big, huge Bigfoot person, has been on probably every TV network over the years. Amazing person to get some Bigfoot advice from. He's a great individual, doesn't BS. He tells you how it is, and it's the truth. I go to Dave Spinks for quite a bit of things. I highly respect him. Very good source to use when it comes to Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot, that, and Mothman. I'm very into Mothman.
Mothman's 45 minutes for me.
I gotta go. That's one of the places. The Mothman Museum is one of the places I've been wanting to go to for a long time.
Both of you come to Ohio. Listen, I'm in Kentucky, Mike Hatcher. I'm here in Ashland, Kentucky.
And I'm in Florida. So
are you really in Florida?
Yeah.
What part?
Cape Coral.
Cape Coral, okay. Long as it's not Miami.
No. You're good. No, I'm in Cape Coral, Florida. It's too dang hot here.
Dave Spinks, Janice says, I love Dave. Yeah, Dave's in West Virginia. Dave's like 2 hours, I think 2 hours for me, but we've become really good friends. We talk a lot and message each other a lot. He's a great person. If you want to talk Bigfoot, I'm telling you, him and Ken Gerhard. I thought I ran into my first cryptid. I was so excited about it. It was a white thing close to the ground. It was outside. It was close to a graveyard. So I started looking at this because I never see anything. Do I look like I'd be out in the forest? No, I'm not a forest. I don't go camping unless a cabin's involved, okay? So I'm out here doing this investigation in Hazard in the hollers of hollers of hollers. I think this was in September or October of this past year. And we see this thing come, like Chelsea Ryan, which is one of my friends. If y'all don't know her, look her up. She's a great person. She has Black Fox Paranormal. And she's going to be on my show too in February. But we've investigated a couple places together now. I love her very much. Great person. And we both see it. And at that time, we see this thing. The camera guy, his lights and cameras completely shut down. Wow. And we're reacting. And it's like 20 feet in front of us. And it's like really close to the ground. It was white with furry, had a long tail, looked like a snake thing. So I come back home and I'm researching this. And I see like white dogs or something. And I'm reading about this. And they're close to graveyards and all this stuff. The graveyard it was a family graveyard, was probably about 20 yards away, 30 yards away. So all this happened. I'm reading all this. So then I'm like, okay, I got to find answers. So I messaged Ken Gerhard, and Ken was like, I don't know about this. He goes, what if it's this? And he sent it to me. It was a white fox, and it looked identical. So I think I saw a white fox is what I think. We're going to go back out there this spring and actually investigate cryptid other than paranormal. The place is super haunted. It looked like freaking Friday the 13th cabin.
Wow.
It's haunted, but we're going to go back out this spring and investigate and see if it's scripted. But, you don't know what's out there in the woods, and it kind of scares me. But Ken Gerhard is amazing, too, to talk to with any of these cryptids, because I was really legit, but he sent me this picture, and I do believe it was a white fox, but we're going to go back and just double check and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm all about the woods. I'm a hunter, so that's my playground. I love being out in the woods and just relaxing. It's my quiet spiritual place.
My best place for me is if it's a haunted location and they have bathrooms and it works, because one of my questions, I'm serious. One of my questions when I go and investigate, do you have a bathroom? Well, 3 questions. Do you have a bathroom? Is it a functional bathroom? Do I need to bring gallons of water? Because I am not going to go, I really bring gallons of water if to flush them demons out.
Well, be careful at Brushy, because they don't have real bathrooms. They have porta potties, so.
don't do. Oh gosh, I will drive to a place before I use a porta potty. I will drive. I don't care. I will find a place. I will go to the creepiest gas station. Put me into the creepiest gas station. As long as they have a working bathroom, I'm good. But a house that has no bathroom you can't use, that you absolutely cannot use whatsoever, even with water. I'm iffy. It might be a no-go for me.
Yeah. Well, we're about time's up,
Yeah.
but thank you so much, Emily. I gotta have you on again. Please,
Yeah.
come on my show, or I could come on your show. We could talk some more because I got so many questions to ask you. And
Well, you can come on. I've rearranged my schedule. I'm actually booked till May, but I rearranged schedule, and my month of March is open. I made it open. It's going to be a guys only month on What the Frick Live, because I have all women. I'm going to have all women in February. It's Love Month. I have like strippers. I have Miss Jennifer Jane, which is one of my favorite people. She's not a paranormal investigator, but she owned 3 she owns more than 3 strip clubs, but she had a strip club in the Hamptons that was haunted. So she's coming on my show. I have a really great lineup in February, and then I rearranged my schedule. So after the Women's Month and actually there's a group called Paranormal Porn Stars too. After February, going into March, I rearranged. I'm going to have all guys come in. So I'll send you the dates. I still have 2 dates available. I'll send it to you. I will do that.
Christina wants to know what your show's about and what's your show's name.
Okay, it's called What the Frick. Well, it's WT Frick Live. It's on Friday nights. I took the month of January off because of all the stuff that's going on in America. Hopefully, we will have electricity, no blackouts, but my Wi-Fi has been funky anyway over the last few days. I'm only 5 hours from Washington D.C., so a lot of issues happen over here. So I took January off for that simple fact, but it's called WT Frick, What the Frick Live. It's Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Frickin' Frack Paranormal on Facebook, because Facebook won't let me change the name, but we're on the Paranormal United Network on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Be picking back up with Miss Jennifer Jane the first Friday of February and going from there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and Linda Judd, thank you. It's WT Frick Live. No E on the end. That's probably a typo. It's probably a typo. Oh, there we go. That's it. So thank you so much. This has been fun. It goes by so fast.
I know. Well, one more question before we go. What kind of advice would you give a new paranormal investigator that's who just, joining our show right now and they want to have some advice out there in the paranormal field?
The number one thing that I can tell you is you need to research teams. Okay. You need to research teams. You need to go on Facebook, all these social medias, and especially the teams in your area. Okay. And really research them. I mean, I know that there's some combat between teams, especially here in Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia, because I'm like 2 hours from any of the major things that you've ever seen on TV, and people fight for these places. But research teams, you need to get in with the team. You do. And you need to get in with a seasoned team, not a new team that just come out, or maybe one investigator on the team that's done this for a long time and building a team. Yeah. Get in with somebody like that. Don't go on your own. Don't watch TV. It's totally different. It's actually kind of boring. The paranormal world, and to truly do investigations, you're going to be bored. You need to get in with somebody that's close to home, that you can build a family with, a paranormal family that understands spiritual warfare. A lot of these teams too, that's up and coming, goes in for kicks and giggles, and it's not kicks and giggles all the time. You should have fun. You should have fun, but you got to understand you're dealing with a very serious topic, and people need help and people need answers. And but that's my biggest thing. I was glad I was part of Kentucky Paranormal Investigators. They had a falling out with the guys. The guys were more drama than the girls, I'll tell you that. They were. And I'm like, us ladies were sitting back like, what in the world? Like, did you see what he said to him? Did you see what he posted about him? Like, we were sitting back like, what is going on? This was a team I was part of for at least 7 years or so. Yeah, about that, maybe 8 years, but they're no longer. And it was a pretty big base. We were on TV shows and stuff back in the day. A Haunting and My Haunted House or something. But I was in the background. I didn't have the nerve to talk back then. I was shy. I was I think one time I was in the background with a recorder, but I was like I was so nervous. Like you'd see, I had long hair too I was nervous. It was haunted though. But also too, I'll tell you anybody really quickly before we go. I do have a network. It's called the Error 404 Paranormal Network. And then I have 6 or 7 teams nationwide. Their error names, like mine is Kentucky, it's our area code. So I'm Error 606 Kentucky. That's our area code. So if you want to join a network, if you want to join a team and be part of the Error network that's building and coming about, please message me and I will hook you up with some good people. And we have 2 teams in Ohio, a team in Kentucky. We have a team in Florida. We have a team in Virginia. We have a team in New Mexico. So it's growing and
awesome.
help. So it's fun.
That's really
hello.
cool.
Hello. It's called Error 404. Hello from the other side.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Emily, thank you so much. Thank you. I've had an amazing conversation with you, and I need to have you on again, like we said, or each other's show. But if you could stick around for a couple of minutes, I'm gonna play this promo here, and we'll chat a little bit after the show.
Yes, I'll stick around. Yes.
Awesome,
thank you, everybody.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining Animal Paranormal Live. You guys have a blessed day.
911 to all stations with an announcement. The FASD training on solar awareness and occupational safety.